Hi, church family. So good to be with you, even virtually, and I'm so encouraged by everything that we've talked about this last week in resurrection. And I just wanted to share a little bit about what the resurrections meant to me recently, and some of the ways that Jesus' words have just had an impact. And so let me just pray real quick. Dear Jesus, I pray that you would help us to see you and to see your shalom. It's your name we pray. So one of the words of Jesus that has really stuck out to me in his resurrection is in Luke 24. And in chapter 24, Jesus meets these disciples on the road to Emmaus, and he reveals himself to them and then disappears. And so the disciples go running back to tell the good news to the other disciples in Jerusalem. And they began to, it says in verse 35, they began to describe what had happened on the road and how he had been made known to them in the breaking of the bread. And as they were saying these things, he himself, Jesus, stood among them. He said to them, "Peace to you." But they were startled and terrified and thought they were seeing a ghost. "Why are you troubled?" he asked them. "Why do doubts arise in your hearts? Look at my hands and my feet. That is, I myself. Touch me and see, because a ghost does not have flesh and bones, as you can see I have." Having said this, he showed them his hands and his feet. But while they still were amazed and unbelieving because of their joy, he asked them, "Do you have anything here to eat?" So they gave him a piece of a broiled fish, and he took it and ate in their presence. And I think a big part of why this has meant a lot to me this week, or last weekend, there were over 200 cases of high lethality family violence in Tulsa. And that's a little bit higher than normal. And it was a busy weekend. And it led to a busy week for us at my work, helping resource some of those clients. And so many of the clients that I saw did not have a framework for peace, for what it would look like for peace to even be a part of their lives. The violence had been either so long-term or had created so much trauma and so much disorientation that there was not even a framework for what peace would show up as. And something I've just been praying for my clients is this passage. The disciples had experienced quite a bit of trauma. The disciples had been uneasy and felt unsafe to the point they're hiding away. And Jesus breaks into that. And his words are peace. And the translation from Greek to Hebrew is really, peace to you is like that peace would take hold of you. In Hebrew, it's like that shalom would show up, shalom would make its appearance in you and with you. And Jesus is saying that he is that peace. He is that shalom. He is physically becoming our peace and the disciples' shalom. And he's changing the entire environment of the room, right? And they're taken aback by that because they don't know what to do with this peace. They don't know how to interpret this. They had lost the framework for peace, and Jesus is restoring that. And as I've just been thinking about some of the hard things that many of our church family and neighborhoods and people are walking through, I just wanted to encourage you that the resurrection means that Jesus is your shalom. That shalom will show up, and that peace will be with you and in you and be made known to you. And the last thing I wanted to just point out that's just meant a lot to me is that this shalom, right? Shalom is not just that there is no conflict, but it goes way beyond that. It means that there's wholeness and joy and a settled downness. That there is opportunity for things to become even more right, is one of the things that shalom kind of indicates. And that's what Jesus is saying, is that there's opportunity for even more to be made right. And so peace is this extraordinary thing that Jesus is bringing, but it shows up in an ordinary action. Jesus' response to coming and bringing peace is to then ask to eat. And I don't know about you, but food, eating is a simple action for most people. It's something we think about, and it's not always simple to acquire, but it's a simple action, an ordinary part of our days, to think about food and to take in food and to let it make its home in us in a way. And Jesus is saying that shalom is extraordinary, but it also just can impact our ordinary actions. And so this week, just think about what are ways that shalom and the resurrection and the peace that Jesus brings can change your ordinary actions, can infiltrate them and make them more beautiful, make them more better opportunities to share the gospel. Just thinking about those ordinary opportunities for peace to be made known to us and to others, that Jesus is with us and he is alive. And so praise Yahweh. Shalom.